UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has apologised for appointing Peter Mandelson as his ambassador to the US after revelations he had a seemingly close friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Mandelson resigned from the British Labor Party on Monday following the release of more documents by the US Department of Justice that laid bare just how chummy they were. They include emails suggesting Epstein made payments worth thousands of pounds to Lord Mandelson and his partner, and that Mandelson shared sensitive government information with Epstein. Starmer said overnight that he didn't know the depth and darkness of Mandelson's friendship with Epstein. Have a listen.
The victims of Epstein have lived with trauma that most of us can barely comprehend. I am sorry. Sorry for what was done to you. Sorry that so many people with power failed you. Sorry for having believed Mandelson's lies and appointed him.
Joining me now for more on this is former UK Labor MP Denis MacShane. Denis, thank you for joining me. 13 years ago, you were jailed in an expenses scandal. So do you have any sympathy for the situation that Mandelson and Starmer now find themselves in?
I don't think that's very chalk and cheese. I was put in prison, you're quite right, because a fascist party called the British National Party got angry when I exposed their anti-Semitism. And yes, I'm a journalist, and I admit I was taught at the BBC how to fill in expenses forms, and I shouldn't have done what I did. I made no profit out of it, and the judge, everybody agreed on that. But they decided to send me to prison to make an example of me. And it was interesting in that period. It was a Tory, what we call a Tory government, a Liberal government, you'd say, in Australia at the time. Not a single one of their MPs got into any judicial trouble. It was all piled onto Labour. But that's just the hypocrisy of the British establishment. But I shouldn't have done it. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. And I wish to God that Peter Mandelson had maybe looked at that and the other MPs who got into serious trouble and maybe rethought his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, his relationship with money, and he'd be in a much better position now.
Well, Sir Keir has said that he's admitted that he knew of the relationship between Mandelson and Epstein, but now he's kind of backtracking and saying, oh, well, I didn't have the full details and Mandelson lied to me. In this climate, knowing what was coming, there was always going to be a tranche of the Epstein files come out. Trump had promised that. Why would he appoint Mandelson to this position? Surely he should have known this was going to happen.
That's a perfectly correct question, and the answer is I don't know. Very remarkably, I mean, I've been involved in politics for about 50 years. I have never heard a Prime Minister of any sort apologise to the British people for a mistake he made. I mean, Boris Johnson trousered £14 million from Putin oligarchs to run his anti-European campaign, and he did terrible things during the COVID crisis, put really corrupt people into the House of Lords. Has he apologised? No. Did Tony Blair apologise for Iraq? No. So, I mean, Starmer's breaking the mould there. But the plain fact is that he is now, after nearly 2 years as Prime Minister, he's just tied to too many small mistakes accumulate. And this is a big one. But the plain fact is, there are very good pieces now by journalists saying we knew about Epstein, but we didn't report on Mandelson and Epstein. Why didn't we? Why didn't the editors of Britain, the journalists of Britain who knew about it, say anything at the time?